One of the most common questions that I get asked by people that are interested in possibly going on one of these trips is there something for me to do? Because they see this as a medical and dental trip, but the answer is that probably 75% of the people that actually do go on the trips have no training in either one of those fields. But there's plenty for them to do because there's such a diversity of things that we do down there. There's a stove program, there's kids programs. We'll have 250 to 300 kids in kind of a vacation Bible school kind of an atmosphere. We have food baskets we take to the poorest of the poor that's just literally bringing them the necessary food they have to live on. The primary purpose of our group is to bring Christ to folks, and so we have a strong evangelical team. So between all those things, there's a place for everybody. The Guatemala trip brings us all together in a campus that we've been able to occupy now for several years. And that campus has 2 separate dorms in it. So your living conditions are really ideal from a missionary point of view. Because you're with these like-minded folks, even though you may not know them, you're going to spend a week with them and you'll end up with some friendships that'll be special for the rest of your life. We eat together. We have a kind of a cafeteria style eating. We bring Guatemalans in. It's the same 3 ladies that have cooked for us that entire time. They fix wonderful food. So you're eating together, you're sleeping together, you're working together, and it's just a really special time and place.
What's the problem here?
Okay.
Well, the chair was broken, so now we're using a little ingenuity to hopefully put it back together. There we go. Put it back together.
The mantra of the trip is always to be flexible, because you really never know what the need's going to be or what you're going to have in order to accomplish whatever mission needs to be done while you're there. You may be an orthopedic surgeon out of Nashville in the States, but the need may present itself in Guatemala, and what needs to happen at that moment is someone needs to grab a mop and clean things up. But that's what makes this all such a team effort, and that's what makes us all feel like you really are on a mission, because that's the nature of a mission, is to do whatever needs to be done, and anyone who's down there would be willing to do whatever that might be.
You get the job of cutting boxes
right,
up, huh?
Yeah. This is very calls for a very skilled person.
So you're qualified?
Yeah, I think so. Well, next to wielding a broom, this is the most difficult task around. Yeah, I wouldn't want them to take me for a surgeon.
From a medical point of view, we have 3 surgical operating rooms and some recovery rooms, and we take the staff to be able to do the surgeries in those that are full surgeries. We do deliveries. It may be taking out a gallbladder or repair hernias. You may do some kind of a exploratory surgery to do diagnostics. There's all kinds of surgeries that can be done there.
How do you feel about the team?
We have a great team. It's really an awesome team. Everybody's on track, wants to be helpful. The really nice thing about being in Guatemala is you do everything because it's right. You don't do anything because it's a rule. The only rule is if it's right, you do it.
The pharmacy's fully stocked, and so we treat high blood pressure, diabetes, parasites, and even some more exotic things that may come into the clinic. Then on the dental side, since we have actual delivery stations in each of the dental rooms, we're able to do a full range of dentistry, be it fillings or extractions or root canals or treating abscesses or even some biopsies and things like that, because we have all the equipment facilities to be able to do that.
Is she allergic to any medications?
And the center of all of this is going to be the courtyard there in the clinic where the people gather. There is an absolute full-blown activity level going on in that courtyard between the medical and the dental and the diagnostics and the evangelical, and even some entertainment for the kids, be it face painting or games or puppet shows or whatever might be going on as well. In the middle of all that are the evangelical teams. And they're sitting down in small groups of 1 or 2 or 3 and visiting with the people about why we're there. You know, what brought these Americans to spend a week out of their lives with their time, talent, and treasure, and why are we here, and what's the purpose of all that, and we're able to share God's love and share the Word.
But I can point you to the man.
It's a full day, and it's a long day, but it's one of those days when you finish it, you'll know that you know you worked, and you'll know that you did something that you can feel real good about. As a doctor, if you ever wanted to clear away the debris that stands between you and what motivated you to be a healthcare professional in the first place, a week in Guatemala is the prescription for what you need. You go through all the weeks in your office and you're doing all the things that are required to run a business, and in Guatemala you're back to the healing, and that's what is the essence of what we do there, and it's undiluted, and as such it's a breath of fresh air as a healthcare provider, and they recognize this, and so the relationship you have with them is purely one of love, and that produces a healing aspect, and then their appreciation is equally undiluted.
I'm John Farrell. This is Tuesday morning. We have 2 crews going out to do stove duty in the Chavoke. So we'll go up there. They have assigned people that will go visit, and we'll do as many stoves as we can.
During the trip, we try to rotate people into different arenas that might be of interest to them, that they can help. But probably the arena that most people find the most gratifying is going to be the stove program that we do down there. Stoves represent literally a life change for the people that they're brought to. It's kind of hard to imagine, as someone who lives in our society, that there are folks that still live in a one-room corrugated tin house that houses multiple children, and when you walk in this one-room house, the campfire kind of setup is over in one corner of the house, and the walls are black from soot, and there's smoke hanging from the roof, and they do all their cooking, and it's in the mountains, so they actually use that to heat the place as well. So that stove becomes kind of a center part of just their being able to get from day to day. And because they have the fire burning all day, it literally takes them 2 days of the work week to be able to gather enough wood to be able to keep that going. We pay about $120 per stove, and then we go in and set that up, but what that does is the efficiency of the stove allows them to use about 70% less wood. Well, that's 2 days that they have now to go out and go back to work. So you're increasing their family income significantly just by freeing them up to be able to do work that will pay them some kind of a wage. And the safety factor and the health factor of not having a burning fire in the room and not breathing smoke all day long, because we vent this through the roof. We put a chimney set up into it. Is fantastically wonderful for their health, for their safety. Last year when we were there, one of the things we treated was one of the kiddos that fell in the fire. It was a 3 or 4 year old kiddo that had severe 3rd-degree burns on their leg, where they had actually just fallen in the fire and burned themselves. You see the people, you see how they live, and you know that when you walk out of that house, their life is absolutely better just because you were there.
He's saying thank you for the stove and for the help that it's going to be.
The kids program represents one of the funnest things that you can do up there, because the kiddos are just so genuine. Their lifestyle doesn't have play day. We're able to bring them a day where they come out of the woodwork, and you're up in the boonies up there. The next thing you know, you have hundreds of kids that have come together, and they're out here for these days of play that we've got scheduled. We're diverse in what we bring down there. It may be jump ropes, it may be soccer balls, it may be some toiletries for the girls to have girly stuff, and whatever we've been able to get from donations, we take them down in boxes and boxes and hand them out over these days. It is a high energy day, and in the middle of that, kind of woven in, you get to talk to them a little bit about their health, you get to talk to them a little bit about how Christ is there for them, and we're here representing His volunteers. And so they get to see something that they would never have an opportunity to see, which is folks from another country that are coming down just to be with them on their level and give them a day that they can really enjoy themselves.
friend of mine, Bob, who brought me on this, set this very special occasion up for me so that I could feel the firsthand and experience the gratitude that these people have for what we're doing up here. My husband and I have worked extremely hard our whole life, and we have been extremely fortunate and accumulated a lot of material things. And I'm telling you right here, this is the most valuable thing that I own right now. I promise you that. Thank you.
There's not really many opportunities in people's lives these days to unplug from everything that they have making them busy. All the things that just surround you that occupy your day. It's a place that offers you a chance to go unplug from all that and just be with yourself, and kind of a introspective time with a group of like-minded folks that are down there for one purpose, and that one purpose is to make the world just a little bit better place in the arena that we get to touch while we're there.